There's a window. A bit more Payne's grey, and we'll have a doorway around the side here in shadow, so I'll just pull that down, just narrow 2 strokes side by side. Perhaps another little window over here, I'll just pull that down a little further. It's all in shadow over there on that side. Clean the brush, and we'll put our surrounding for the window. Little tip here too. I'll divide this up so we've got window panes. So the first thing I do, I twirl the brush across the white. So I'm twirling the brush as I strap. This puts a point on the brush. If you want to make the window look recessed, you put a little cross in there, which is just a vertical line, but it's only short, it doesn't touch the top and bottom. And the same goes for the horizontal one. It doesn't touch the sides. There we are. Now that gives the illusion that the window is set back in a little bit. So the shadows around the outside edge. Now I can do the window frame itself. I'm topping up with white, and I'll do a vertical here, a vertical here. More white, we'll go along the top edge. I have to excuse my hand being in the way, I'll just try and clear, just see how it's going. Across there, a little one underneath. I'll make the bottom one extend a little further for a sill. That's more white. So we'll make it a little bit wider either side. There we are. Now that's okay. Could do a little shadow under the edge and perhaps on the side. So now I'll clean the brush, take some Payne's grey, a thin line under the sill like so. Shadow line under there. It's just these little touches that just make a nice little difference. A little bit under there. It's the lights, well actually the light's coming from this direction, so we'll put a shadow down the right hand edge like that. Just there. And then we'll just darken the inside edge in here if we just make it a fraction darker. There. A little bit on the end of that sill as well. It's an old shack, and it should look pretty rustic. Just darken this down here again. Strengthen that shadow up a bit. Doorways there. Falling shadow window there. Right, should have, take up a bit of grey, little chimney, can be off to the back here. I'll just put a little stroke there, a little bend in it, and then another vertical. So it's got a little crank in it. Just take the smoke away from the house. Wash the brush, and we've got to do our foreground. I'm going to make full use of the black part of the board here. First of all, I'm taking the fan brush. I haven't used any ultramarine blue yet, but what I'm going to do is work the ultramarine blue into the bristles like that. So it just lays there. That's it. Wipe off any excess, so it's within the bristles. Then I dip the brush into some cadmium yellow, just a little bit on the end. A little bit of yellow ochre, so I've got the 2 yellows on there. Start over here. Just tap the brush very gently, just touching it, like so. The light's coming from the side, so working the brush up and down a little bit over the edge of the building, like so. You can see that the yellows are combining a little bit. Go back over some of this, make it a little bit higher. Touching the brush very gently, coming up next to the cabin there. And the brush is starting to run out of paint. This is what I want to happen. So go around the front here. Just about run out of paint now. It's gone darker. That's what I want. I might combine a little bit with the local colour from the edge there, over the other side. This is all in shadow, so by the time I get across here, I'm out of paint. But what I'm doing is I'm working into some of the background colour. You can see it go up a little bit higher, a bit of contrast there. Turn the brush on the side, I've got some little bits of foliage sticking up. There we are. Now I haven't added any more yellow. I'll come down onto the dark part of the board. You can see that I've left a few spaces. Now the cabin's sitting on a kind of a hillside. Light's coming from the side. There are little high points, little clumps here and there. And if I get the brush once more into a little bright yellow and a bit more blue, a bit more yellow ochre, and come down a little lower, say here, tap, move the brush around a little bit, over there, very gently. I can vary the pressure on the brush, very light. Letting the brush run out of paint again. As I move away from where I started, down underneath there a little bit. Left a few gaps here, I'll just put a few little dabs in there, just to put a little bit of texture in there, and I'll come away. See, the brush is running out of paint, and I'm changing the angle of the brush occasionally, so I don't want to have all these sort of obvious fan brush shapes. I'll come back over there, up to the beginning part, and soften that up a little bit. By doing this, of course, I'm going over the paint and I'm picking more of it up, but it's softening it up a little bit and breaking it up, I should say. Moving away, come back down here, and you can see that I'm also leaving gaps between the areas that I'm working on. Coming down here. And so I tap the brush and move it sideways, so I've got a line of grass, we'll call it grass or ground cover, maybe ground cover is a better description. And see how the paint's concentrated here and it's sparing there, so it looks like it's a bit shaded there. And come back with some stronger colour and put some little sort of high points. Bit of gap here, let's put a bit of texture in there. Over here we'll have a bit of texture. This is just the run out colour, what's left on the brush, and it's putting texture in there, even on the dark area, gaps between. Let the black part of the board do a little bit of work. It makes it much more interesting if you've got let the eye do a little bit of work as well. Mixing, got a bit of untidiness here. Let's bring this down a little bit so there's a connection. The lower area. So I'm not adding any more paint, I'm just softening things up a little bit. Watching what I'm doing. Yeah, like that, see? Light, a little bit less light or darker if you like. Put a few little bits over here. I'll take a little bit of the bright yellow by itself. Now there's a little bit of light coming through. I'll just put a touch of the cadmium yellow over there. Bring that down a little slope there. Down a bit more. Little clump in here. See, the blue's still on the brush and it's working into the yellow as well. Bring that down like that. See, a little sloping area, and the bottom bit comes away like that. I'll put a little bit of warmth maybe in there, so I'll just take some yellow ochre by itself. I'll add a few little warm clumps in there. Remember, less is more. Look how this is filling in beautifully. I've got some trees to put in shortly. Down the bottom here, you can have some flowers as well. I'll put a little bit just in there, like that. It's going to be a beautiful little painting. It's very simple, but it's quite striking. Really striking. Now, I'll put the trees in, and then we'll take it from there. I'd like the light just to trail across here, just